CQ40, CQ40 meter. This is Kilowatt Bravo 2 United Kilowatt Alpha calling CQ40, KB2 UKA Long Island, New York, QRZ.
November 4.
November station, go ahead. I had you there real loud, November station. Now you dropped under the noise. Try again, over.
November 4, Mike.
All right, November 4, Mike. I've got that. Keep going, over. Negative copy. I'm sorry, my friend. This is KB2 UKA Long Island, New York, QRZ. Is it Mike Alpha Charlie QSL?
November 4, Mike Charlie.
Got it. November 4, Mike Charlie. Well, I picked a pretty noisy part of the band, Tom. But I've got you about a 4x7 into Long Island, New York. My name is Doug, Delta Oscar Uniform Golf. I'm located about 50 miles east of New York City. How do you copy, over? All right, Roger, Andrew, Roger. There's a lot of QRM below us and above us, but when it's not there, you're coming in about a 5.758. When it's there, you're about a 4x7. I'm running a Flex Radio 5000, a little over a kilowatt, into a 43-foot ground-mounted vertical. All my audio gear is outboard rack gear being fed into the back of the Flex. And also, I am live on YouTube right now. So if you put my call, KB2 UKA, into the search box of YouTube, you'll find the live streaming. You'll be able to hear exactly as I'm copying you up here in Long Island. Over.
Over, I'll see if the radio holds up. I'm taking down some RFI problems.
All right, my friend Andrew, thanks for picking up my CQ call. I hope you check out the YouTube page. I think you'll like what you have to hear. You were 5 and 8 that last transmission. So November 4, Mike Charlie, Andrew in Tennessee. This is KB2 UKA 73. All right, 73, my friend. Have a great week. This is KB2 UKA, Long Island, New York, QRZ. CQ40, CQ40 meter. This is Kilowatt Bravo 2 United Kilowatt Alpha calling CQ40, KB2 UKA Long Island, New York, QRZ. CQ40, CQ40 meter. This is Kilowatt Bravo 2 United Kilowatt Alpha calling CQ40, KB2 UKA Long Island, New York, QRZ. KB2 UKA QSY up some.
Near to Heil. From November 8 down to Charlie. 5x5, 7-3. Thanks a lot. Okay, November 8.
Hello, Mercury. Smile on your face. The working special event stations are just generally sitting on the air, then perhaps you should find another hobby. That's exactly the right attitude. Built in 73s, and again, a great card. QRZ, Kilo Alpha 6, Lima Mike Sierra, Portable 2. Last man standing, special event. We end at 23:59. 2359. So come on in, let's make some calls. Last man standing, Portable 2.
Whiskey 3 Oscar Yankee, W301.
Whiskey 3 Oscar Yankee, thank you so very much. A very good afternoon to you. Good to hear you, and you got a nice signal about at 10:09. Your name and location, W30Y, WK6LMS Portable 2.
Hey, thank you very much. Name here is Ray, Romeo Alpha Yankee, and I'm located in Pennsylvania, Papa Alpha.
Thank you so much, Ray, for Pop Alpha. I appreciate that very, very much. I really do. 73. There's a station that sent me an email a while ago. That station is Tom, K3 Yankee Hotel. K3 Yankee Hotel. I don't know if you're on the frequency or not, Tom, but if you are, let me give you a call out. Make contact with me. Tom, Kilo 3 Yankee Hotel. Kilo 3 Yankee Hotel. Kilo Alpha 6, Lima Mike Sierra Portable 2. Okay, nothing heard, but again, Tom, if you're there, you can go on my Twitch TV channel, W2JV Peter. Just send me a text, and I'll be sure to pick you up. Thanks for putting that information out. I wasn't so sure I was going to get on 40 tonight, but you certainly gave me a little impetus to do that. 73s, I'll talk to you later. QRZ, Kilo Alpha 6, Lima Mike Sierra Portable 2. Kilo Delta 9 Romeo something, go ahead. Yeah, after the Romeo, you kind of dropped off. Give me your poll again. There you go, I got that. That time your signal came up. Thank you so much. KD9RDE, Romeo Delta Echo, thanks so much. Your name and your location. Thank you, Andrew. Thanks for Indiana, and thanks for hanging in there with your call. QRZ, Kilo Alpha 6, last man standing, Portable 2.
Kilo Oscar 4, Lima Hotel.
Oscar Kilo, Roger. Curacao, thank you very much. Have a great evening, 73. Thank you. Have a great evening also, and 73 turn up. November 4, Alpha 3, Juliet. Okay, the Kilo Foxtrot 4, Bravo Alpha November, you are 59 in median 0511, get out.
Is the frequency in use? Is the frequency occupied? Over. This is KB2 UKA. Is the frequency in use? Is the frequency occupied? CQ, CQ, CQ40. CQ, CQ, CQ 40 meter. This is Kilowatt Bravo 2 United Kilowatt Alpha calling CQ, CQ, CQ40, KB2 UKA, Long Island, New York, QRZ. CQ, CQ, CQ40, CQ, CQ, CQ 40 meter. This is Kilowatt Bravo 2 United Kilowatt Alpha calling CQ, CQ, CQ40, KB2 UKA, QRZ. CQ, 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 calling CQ40. This is Kilowatt Bravo 2 United Kilowatt Alpha calling CQ, CQ, CQ40, KB2 UKA Long Island QRZ. CQ, CQ, CQ40, CQ, CQ, CQ 40 meter. This is Kilowatt Bravo 2 United Kilowatt Alpha calling CQ, CQ, CQ40, KB2 UKA Long Island, New York, QRZ. CQ, 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 CQ 40 meter calling CQ 40 meter. Any station anywhere. This is Kilowatt Bravo 2 United Kilowatt Alpha calling CQ, CQ, CQ 40, KB2 UKA Long Island, New York, standing by and listening. CQ, CQ, CQ40, CQ, CQ 40 meter. This is Kilowatt Bravo 2 United Kilowatt Alpha calling CQ, CQ40, KB2 UKA standing by.
Kilo Echo 8, Romeo Juliet Lima.
Kilo Echo 8, Romeo Juliet Lima. All right, let's see. We got Michael in Ohio. You're 5 and 9, Mike. 5 and 9 into Long Island, New York. My name is Doug, Delta Oscar Uniform Golf. I'm about 50 miles east of New York City. You're doing a really, really good job. How do you copy? Over.
I got you a good 5 and 9 into Ohio. The name is Mike. I'm in Youngstown, Ohio. Probably about 45 minutes to the southeast of Cleveland. Actually, I'm about midway point between Cleveland and Pittsburgh.
All right, Roger. Well, you're doing a great job. Great job. Want to let you know I'm live streaming on my YouTube page. So if you put my call, Kilo Bravo 2 United Kilowatt Alpha, into the search box of YouTube, you'll find the live channel. You'll be able to copy back exactly as I'm hearing you here on Long Island. You'll be able to hear and see your signal report. I'm running a Flex Radio 5000. Yeah, that's right, 5000. About a kilowatt into a 43-foot ground-mounted vertical. All my audio is outboard rack audio gear going into the back of the Flex. Over.
Wow, I can only dream about a setup like that. Yeah, here I'm running a Yaesu FT991A, and I got a homebrew 40-meter dipole that I strung up as best as I could. I'm lucky to have it about. It's not even 20 feet off of the ground, but it works. It got me out. I'm new to the ham radio scene. I've only been licensed for about 3 weeks now, so I'm learning. It's a steep learning curve, but I'm making progress, I guess.
Well, you got to check out the YouTube page, bro. I have the Flex software on the live stream. You were 10 over. You were 10 over 9 that last transmission, and there's a lot of QRM on the band right now, especially that we're near the top of it. And you're just doing a great job. Welcome to the hobby. I'm 40 years old. I got licensed when I was 13 as a tech. I upgraded to general in my mid-20s. That was probably the most active I was from like 25 to 28, maybe 30. And then I took a 7-year break. I started transmitting again last July, and now I'm all in, man. I love the hobby, making a lot of friends, and I really got into this audio. How's my audio sound to you? Over.
You sound great other than the band noise, but your audio, like I can copy you just fine. It's just the band's a little noisy right now. But you're sounding real good.
All right, awesome, Mike. Well, I really appreciate you answering my CQ call. I got you down here in the logbook. welcome to the hobby. Hope you stick with it. Every day I'm doing something different. There's always something to learn. So really, really appreciate it. So let's see. What do we have here? What am I doing? I am messing stuff up. That's what I'm good at. All right. So Kilo Echo 8, Romeo Juliet Lima, Mike in Ohio. This is KB2 UKA 73.
Hey, thanks for taking my call, 7-3.
All right. Have a great weekend coming up. Take care. This is KB2 UKA Long Island QRZ.
Whiskey 3, Oscar Yankee, W301.
Whiskey 3, Oscar Yankee. Ray, good to talk to you again, Ray. We spoke on the 13th. How's it going? Over?
It's going good. I just saw your live stream pop up, and I was trying to clean up some of the last man standing stations, and I figured I'd pop up and say hello.
Yeah, Roger. I think one of my neighbors, literally less than a quarter mile from me, is downband. I forgot what frequency he's on. I think it's right under 200. I don't know if you got him, but he's coming in like 50 over here. He's doing a great job. How's the audio sound to you? Over?
Oh, the audio sounds good. I actually changed my antenna since I spoke to you last. I am now loading up the rain gutters and seeing how that works. Seems to be working pretty good so far.
Yeah, man, you're 5 and 8. 5 and 8. You're coming over all the QRM. You'll hear that on the YouTube page. You're doing a great job, buddy. Over?
Yeah, thanks a lot. I'm running about 90 watts, 90 whiskey. I just have the rain gutters hooked up with a 9-to-1 on, so I used it for the contest over the weekend, and it worked out pretty good.
Oh, that's great, man. That's great. Friday, my 80-meter dipole goes up. That's it. I'm off of work Thursday and Friday. It's going to rain here all day. All day Thursday. So Friday, I'll get that strung up. And the thing that's going to take me the longest is probably making the coax, the connectors. But I'll get that up, and then the urban beam should be here tomorrow. That'll take me weeks to get up. That's like a 15-hour assembly. I'm going to have to break that down into 4 or 5 days. Over? Yeah, Roger, it's the urban beam. That's going to go up on my detached garage on a 6-foot roof tower with about 10 feet of mass. So that should be just about 38 to 40 feet in the air. Over?
Yeah, that's a very popular antenna. I hear about a lot of people having that FIR urban beam. A lot of YouTube streamers actually use it, so hopefully it works out really good for you.
Yeah, as long as I don't break it while I'm putting it together. And by break it, I mean throwing it across the yard. I hate assembling this stuff. It's like a job, but it's well worth it when it's all over. Over?
Yeah, good. Hopefully it works out for you, and I'll probably bump into you here on the band some other time. I'm going to get out of here and see if I can finish up this clean sweep for the LMS station. So, 73, you have a good afternoon. KB2 UKA from W301, 73.
All right, Ray. You good luck with that. I hope you clean it up. You probably should be able to. They're very active right now. And I hope you enjoy the holiday coming up. So, Whiskey 3, Oscar Yankee, Ray in Pennsylvania. This is KB2 UKA 73.
Yep, 73. I'll catch you tomorrow.
All right, take care. This is KB2 UKA QRZ. Mike, you have a copy on me? It looks like you do. Let's see if I could hear you. Kilo Delta 2 Sierra X-Ray Delta. Do you copy KB2 UKA? Yeah, man, I'm hearing you just fine. You're 5 and 8. 5 and 8, doing great. I'm messing around with this audio again, man. It's never good enough. I tweaked the EQ a little bit. I added a little bit of room ambience with this virtualizer, so you might hear a touch of reverb in the background. You'll probably hear it better on the live stream. It should be very, very subtle. How's it sounding to you? Over?
Sounding superb. Sounding super-tastic.
Yeah, man, that's what happened to me. I was watching K1GMM, Green Mountain Maniac, his YouTube page, and I basically just started copying the equipment he had. And then I ran into some other people that are doing it, and they helped me tweak it. And now I'm feeling, which is a bad thing, but I'm feeling a little bit confident, so I've been retweaking it. But so far, I think I like it. So then I listen back to the stream with, crazy enough, these are good Bose headphones, but I'm telling you, my AirPods, the AirPods Pro, when I put those things in, I hear better than I hear with these. And that's how I could tell if I like it or not. So I monitor it back on the recording through the AirPods, and then I critique it. Over.
Okay, well, I never had it. Oh, wow. So how are you able to connect the AirPods? The flex off the Bluetooth module, right?
Well, no, for the radio, these are hardwired. So when I'm actually live on the radio, this is how I monitor my audio. But it's impossible to really hear it while you're live. And, you have bones in your head, you have your skull, all of that's resonant. So you're not, it's just like putting your fingers in your ears and talking. I have to record it, and then I have to listen to it back while I'm not talking, and then I can really hear it. What I'm saying is my Apple AirPods have very, very good fidelity, and I normally listen to it back later on in the night on those things, and that tells me how I want to tweak it. Over.
Roger. Okay, I misunderstood. I thought you was running the wireless ones. All right. Sorry, I'm trying to tell the radio down here. But, yeah, you sounded good, man, and I don't know what more else you going to do. Is there anything else that you not happy with so far? You got that other piece in line now, right?
Yeah, I've got it in line. I need my buddy Art to hear me. I'm using one of the presets. There's like 200 presets of effects in this thing, and I just have. I went into the reverb section and then went to room ambience, and from 0 to 100, I have it set on 6, so I have very, very little. So if see, here we go. Hold on. I could turn it way up. Whoa, that's a little too much there. So I don't want it like that. I still want to sound like myself. So there we go. It's back on 6. But yeah, you can do a lot of fun stuff with this thing. Over.
Roger. All right, well, one day I'm going to get there. I'm going to start buying some rack equipment myself. And start messing around with ESSB. So I'll tell you, between you and Green Mountain, what you guys got me so interested in that audio setup there, and broadcast there, all that kind of audio. It's sounding good. You 4K now, or it's 3K wide?
No, I'm 4K. I don't see anyone 4K near me, so I'm doing it. It's cool, man. The total investment wasn't as bad as you think. I'm using what's called it. If you watched K1GMM's, he's got a setup video that goes over everything he's using. Some of the stuff I'm using that he's using. I picked up the Art Studio MP preamp. That was like $60. Then I've got a what is it? It's an Art the EQ 351. It's a 31 band EQ. I think that was about 100. The Aphex Oral Exciter, the 204, I got that used for 200. Then I spent 150 on the compressor limiter gate, and then I got the virtualizer used on eBay for 150. So it's not that bad, and really, I didn't need the EQ. I could have EQ'd it in the software, but I wanted to do everything outside the software. But according to him, you just need the preamp and the oral exciter. That'll get you started. Over.
Roger. I'm subscribed to his channel as well. I've been looking at a lot of his videos also. And like I said, man, you're sounding great, man. I know you can't wait for that urban beam to get there. Just take your time, brother. I know if you get frustrated to try to put things together, but just take your time, man. Don't let it frustrate you. I don't want to hear you throwing it across the lawn, all right?
Bruh, I'll tell a funny story real quick. And this is going to be now permanently on the record. So first of all, it's a love-hate relationship. And I watched a video last night on a guy assembling it. And it gave me anxiety. It just gave me, you got to use glue. You've got to cut the fiberglass poles. You got to do all this stuff. Man, I'm like, for that money, can't you just snap the damn thing together and put it up? But no, you got to really work on it. So I am going to take my time. I don't care if it's up at the end of May or even June. I'm going to do a little at a time. So a while ago, I put up an MA5B. That's that Cushcraft 5-band 3-element Yagi with the little radial spokes, the capacitance hats at the end of the elements. And I worked on this thing for 2 days, and there was one thing in the directions. It wasn't in the instructions. Somebody had a video I'd watched. It said you better use some type of textured tape where the elements attach to the boom, because they're known to slide. They're known to spin around no matter how tight you make it. So I'm putting this thing up on the roof all by myself, and I drag it up there. And by the time I dragged it up there, one element was sticking up 90 degrees from the boom. Another one was sticking like 45 degrees from the boom. I threw the thing off the roof, got down off the ladder, and I cut the whole thing up with a Sawzall and threw it away. And I said, I'm not doing that antenna. So yeah, I have been known to destroy things. Over.
Oh man, that was great story there, dog. Man. Well, I'll tell you one thing. If I was still up in New York right now, I'll definitely make a trip over to your way to come help you out. But I know you got this, man. I can't wait to hear you on it. And I can't wait for you to get your wire off as well. So I can get you there on 80 meters as well there. But don't destroy no more antennas. Oh, man. But yeah, great, man. Great one. All right, I'm going to let you go ahead and see if you can make a couple more contacts, man. I'm trying to get this last station for this Last Man Standing special event that's going on. Today's the last day. And I need one station here for the Clean Sweep Award. And he's on 20 right now, and he's fading out terribly because I'm about to lose 20 here in a little bit. And he's going by numbers, so he was on 7 last time I checked. So I'm gonna swing back over there and see if he's back around, and I'll be listening in though. Good talking to you, Doug, as always, and everybody else you said was talking to, KEARJL and W3OY, Historic Frequency, is sounding good down here in Jacksonville, Florida as well. All right, KB2, UKA, KB2SXD. Seriously, my friend, and I'll catch you later.
Mike, awesome. Thanks for stopping in. So real quick, what I'm going to do with that dipole, it's going to be mounted right above my basement shack here. So I'm going to have the apex probably about 40 feet, and then I'm going to have it come down in an inverted V, one to like a 12, 15-foot tree in the front of the house, and then one to a 15-foot pole in the back corner of the house. I'm going to run the coax straight down right outside my basement window. I'm going to put a remote tuner because I like having the tuners outside. And then I'm going to run the coax in. So until I put the urban beam up, I've got a 600-watt remote tuner. So I'm going to use that first because I'm using the legal limit on this vertical. Then when the urban beam goes up and I take the vertical down, I'll put the legal limit remote tuner to replace the 600. So yeah, man, it should be good. I appreciate it. Go get that station. Kilo Delta 2 Sierra X-Ray Delta KB2 UKA 73.
My shack window. I'm like sitting right in front of it, and I have the transformer box is literally 4 feet out the window here, and it's mounted on a 3-foot pole, and it's a sloper. The wire is sloping all the way up to the tree, goes up about 30 feet, and then it cuts across. So it's more like a sloper inverted L type configuration, if you want to call it that way. You know, living in the HOA, this is what I had to do, and it works. So that's how I'm using it. All right, Doug. Just to give you a quick idea of what I'm working with here. I would love to have an external tuner, but I'm right here next to it, so I'm literally 4 feet away from the transformer box. So the tuner tunes it well with no issues or the band. All right, catch you later, Doug. KB2 UKA. This is KD2 SXD 73.
7-3, Mike. All right, cool, man. Yep, so maybe Friday evening we'll be able to work each other on 80. Take care. This is KB2 UKA live on YouTube. QRZ. CQ, CQ, CQ40, CQ, CQ, CQ40 meter. This is Kilowatt Bravo 2 United Kilowatt Alpha calling CQ, CQ, CQ40, KB2 UKA, Long Island, New York, QRZ. CQ, CQ, CQ40, CQ, CQ, CQ40 meter. This is Kilowatt Bravo 2 United Kilowatt Alpha calling CQ, CQ, CQ40, KB2 UKA, Long Island, New York, QRZ. KB2 UKA QSY.
WA1HLR, Henry LR, calling CQ and listening. CQ calling CQ, CQ40, CQ40, CQ40 phone. CQ from WA1H, Yell R. WA1H, horrendous, Aloysius, and R for rotundus. WA1H and Yell R, Henry Yell R, calling CQ. CQ40, CQ40, CQ40 phone. CQ from WA1H, Yell R. WA1H, horrendous, Aloysius, and R for rotundus. WA1H and Yell R, Henry Yell R, calling CQ. CQ40, CQ40, CQ40 phone. CQ from WA1H, Yell R. WA1H, horrendous, Aloysius, and R for rotundus. WA1H and Yell R, Henry Yell R, calling CQ and listening.
WA1HLR, do you copy Kilo Bravo 2 United Kilowatt Alpha?
Yeah, I sure do. KB2UKA. Good signal in here. This is WA1H and LR. Good evening to you. My name is Tim, and I'm up here in Skowhegan in the state of Maine. Go ahead.
Hello, Tim. Hello. Nice meeting you. My name is Doug. I'm located on Long Island, New York. about 50 miles east of New York City. I'm up there on the North Shore, about a mile from the Long Island Sound. You are a beautiful, beautiful 30 over S9 down here, doing a wonderful job. I'm not a first-time AMer, but not that often. Let's see. I'm running about a 200-watt carrier. I think I'm doing that right. Peaking a little over a kilowatt on a Flex 5000, bunch of rack audio gear. And man, oh man, you have a tremendous signal. Over.
Yeah, well, you're doing quite well as well. I didn't catch your name on north side of Long Island.
Roger, the name is Douglas, Delta Oscar Uniform Golf. Over.
Okay, Doug, very good. Well, with age, you have brain farts and maybe short-term memory loss. Well, you're doing quite well here. Flex sounds good. The only thing I notice is the top end, the highs are down. I'm wondering where you have your high frequency roll-off point.
Well, let's see. I normally play around with ESSB on lower sideband. So hold on. I know exactly what's wrong here. Hold on 1 second. That is not saved. No, yeah, I should be. I'm 8K wide, so 4 and 4. Let's see. Maybe we need to up that a little bit. On the EQ, I start rolling off around 6.3K. Over.
Okay. Well, it's not so much that. What I would do, being that you have the technology, is to pick up the 2 to 4 kilohertz region by a few dB and punch a little bit of a hole in the mud frequencies from about 150 to 500 and see what that does.
All right, so I already lowered 2 and 250. Let's pull that down a little bit. Okay. All right, so those are the lower frequencies. I cut them just so slightly, a few dB. And then let's boost 2.5, 3.15, 4K, 5K. All right, this is KB2, UKA, Long Island, New York. How's that? Over.
Yeah, it's definitely better at KB2 UKA. From WA1HLR. Yes, it's nearing the top of the hour. Yeah. Well, good to meet you. I thought I heard you nearby this frequency talking with another station, so I paused. Receiver I'm using is a real pain in the nuts to deal with receiving sideband on. It's primarily AM. But I could tell by the quacking sounds that you and the other station were signing, so I thought I'd jump in. Generally, like last year and the year before, typically there are a few guys that get in here around 7 o'clock on or about 7290, give or take other activity. So you were probably that station. I kind of, the speech patterns or syntax or whatever, I could tell. Yep. I'm using a homebrew transmitter that I built better than 50 years ago that I reacquired recently and went through it and fixed a few things. It's a single 6156, which is basically a 4-250 modulated by a pair of 811s, bare bones simple. I built this one for simplicity, crystal control, but it's a VXO, so I can rubber the frequency of the crop stove one way or the other, depending. I think I have it pretty close to 7290. So it's got good stability. And I've got a line level input. I got an audio processing chain here that I use with all my other AM gear, but this I got on the air quick. I plumbed it into the system, and I'm using a D104 with a just about a homebrew JFET preamp, because the D104 is almost an infinite impedance transducer, and you want to present it with, in this case, a 22 megohm gate resistor. So what you're listening to is no processing at all. If the signal is that strong, I could set up another transmitter that I use a lot, driving a small, well, to me it's a small linear amplifier, Tempo 2000, which is a pair of 3400s. And I typically drive that to about 100 watts, 110 watts out. I don't push it very hard. Whereas this transmitter is delivering, according to the watt meter, about a 1/4 kilowatt out. Wonder what you're using for an antenna. I'm using, let's see, which one am I using? Okay. Yeah, this is a recently put up 75 meter dipole fitted with open wire line. Up about 50 feet at the south end, center up maybe 40, and the other end up at 35, which could go up higher. And I've got a 2-band antenna tuning system that I built up to work with the typical impedance being presented by the antenna and the length of feed line on. So I can do both 75 and 40 without getting up and going for a hike to where the tuner is located and retuning it. So it does a good chunk of 40 meters and part of 75 that I spend a lot of time on. And that's what I'm using at this point there, Doug. KB2UKA from WA1HLR.
Well, it just sounds amazing. And the antenna here, which will not be here that much longer, I'm doing a lot of antenna work over the next few weeks. Right now I'm on a 43-foot aluminum pole with ground-mounted vertical with 90 65-foot ground radials around it. And there's a legal limit remote tuner right at the base of the antenna, about 100 feet away from my shack. And that will be coming down, though I have anxiety about taking it down because it does work well. And I'm putting up a step-by-R urban beam. That'll be up about 45 feet. That'll be for a 6 through 40 meter. And on Friday, I'm running an 80-meter wire, half wave, and that'll be primarily my 80-meter antenna. The question I have for you, because your audio is amazing, I had this thing EQ'd out for what I believe was pretty good for 4K wide stuff when no one's around on lower 40, lower 80 meters. When I EQ my receive, I always go to the shortwave bands and I find a beautiful AM signal. And I EQ what I like to hear by listening to an AM signal. And that's my reference point. So I know if I'm hearing a station well, if they sound like an AM signal, even though they're on single sideband. My question to you on the transmit EQ, if I'm sounding really well, like for instance to your ear on AM, will that transcribe to single sideband, or do you think I'm going to need to re-EQ? Over?
Yeah, it depends on a number of factors, which I'll get into in a minute. Well, being that the conditions are as good as they are, I'm going to switch over to another transmitter. If you think this thing sounds good, I'll put something on that I think sounds really good, but that's just my opinion. So I got to. It's set up on 3705 right now, which I hang out on that frequency generally in the mornings. But give me a minute, Doug. I'll be right back.
Roger. I'm not going anywhere. Whiskey Alpha 1 Hotel Lima Radio, KB2 UKA standing by.
Yeah, if you can hear me with this thing. There we go, 1 2 1 2 testicling. This is about 10 watts. Drop it for a moment, give the amp time to come up.
All right, Roger. Well, you're 20 dB less, and the audio is not as strong, but you just said what you said at the end. Give the time for the amp to warm up. So I'll stand by. But so far, the fidelity of your audio and the signal strength was much improved on the first radio. Over.
How's this?
Almost back to where you were. So you were between 25 and 30 over. Now you're between, 23 and 25 over. Still an amazing signal. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay, very good. I'm going to put the other one off. And the other transmitter is a 1/4 kilowatt, 250 watts. I always use carrier to define AM power. PEP is not meaningless, but it's how well modulated it is. This one could stand a little bit. 1 2 1 2. I'm looking at the scope. And this is more laid back, because with the other setup, I didn't complete wiring in the receiver muting circuitry. So I gotta spin the chair around a bit and have my left hand on the audio gain pot on the receiver and pot it down when I hit the transmit on the chicken choker D104. And this setup, I'm using a large diaphragm electric condenser microphonium, and that goes through some preamplification and into an Orban 9000A or Optimod, which 80s vintage AM broadcast processing, and my high frequency chop is at 10 kilohertz, so in theory I could occupy up to a total of 20 kilohertz, but the bulk of human speech is generally 5 kilohertz and below, so having audio bandwidth to 4 is fairly acceptable. have often said if you have good flat high end of 5 kilohertz, you know, you got to think in terms of what most likely are bandwidths that the signal can be received with minimal interference. And that's usually, depending on where you're at, about 8 or 10 kilohertz. Yeah, well, as far as ESSB is concerned and what you got there, the audio would be no different when you go from a sideband to AM with an SDR. You know, your audio profile is your audio profile as long as you save it. And, you know, I've got a little rice box that was given to me by a buddy of mine, a Wazoo 891. And that's got a 3-band parametric in it, and the audio response limits are 100 hertz to 3 kilohertz. In other words, a total of 2.9 kilohertz bandwidth. And a friend of mine put a little electric condenser element in the handheld plastic piece of crap microphonium that came with it. And interestingly enough, it's got a user-adjustable, programmable 3-band parametric equalizer where you can move the points of equalization into that as it's most useful to the part of the voice spectrum which, say, most people would occupy. And so I just kind of guesstimated and set the thing, and been getting good reports. But then again, a lot of people on AM are that much more discerning of audio quality. Yeah, well, I'm all old school. This is a highly modified Globe Scout Deluxe transmitter that pretty much is unmodified from the outside, but inside it's been pretty reworked. And the Tempo 2000 linear, I've done a lot of work as far as much better air cooling and all that. I've never used the Tempo 2000 on sideband. If I use the vintage piece of gear, I've got a Collins S-line here, and I want to set things up so I can drive the amplifier with that, but the input is untuned, and with a solid state piece of gear, Jesus, I've been having allergy issues, post-nasal drip. When I speak after a while, it begins to get a bit annoying. Yes, indeed. So, that's the story. Now, the receiver I'm using is a Helicrafters. You probably heard of Helicrafters. It was a legendary company back in the day. And it's an SX62, which was marketed as a very high-end shortwave and entertainment receiver, where they took one of their earlier receivers that they introduced after WW2, the big one, known as an SX42, which was supposed to be an all-things-to-all-people receiver that tuned from the bottom of AM broadcast right up through FM broadcast, and a number of different selectivity positions, and a position to use the internal push-pull 6V6 audio output section as a pornograph amplifier. So it could be used for entertainment in the family den or what have you. But the way Helicrafters does their whole audio section, to me, is kind of bogus. So the receiver will open up to a pretty wide bandwidth. I do have it buttoned up a bit because I was talking with a buddy of mine who was mobile out near Syracuse, New York today. So I'll open the thing up and get an even closer band range signal. But I pretty much stripped out a lot of the circuitry of the audio amplifier in this thing, and now I've got a pair of bigger tubes, a pair of 6L6s, or in this case 5881s, which are an audio fool grade 6L6 in theory. A real hi-fi audio output transformer, a better phase inverter circuit for the push-pull stage, and fat values of coupling. I haven't measured the frequency response on the amplifier, but I know the low end is probably flat down to about 10 hertz. And I've got a pair of ancient AR2A speaker systems mounted up on the walls of the opposing walls at the operating position here, so it's kind of like fake stereo. So, you know, the system goes down there in the low end, and I've got several different tone control positions in the receiver, being that Telecrafters just had something that would say bass, hi-fi, medium, and low. Well, what does that mean? Well, bass was just bass boost by dorking around with the negative feedback around the audio output section, which is not the way to do it. And the hi-fi position is flat, and the medium position was high-end roll-off, and the low position, I think, was more high-frequency roll-off, and probably even some kind of low-end cut. But it wouldn't work with what I was trying to do, so I did it passively with resistors and capacitors, so the so-called bass mode is a bit of deep low-end boost and some upper mid-range and high boost, kind of like a similar curve to what I was suggesting as far as picking up various frequencies. And the hi-fi mode doesn't work. And the medium position is a 3.5 kilohertz audio low-pass filter with a, smaller value coupling capacitor, which causes the low end to begin to roll off below 150 hertz. So it's like a communications receiver's audio section that doesn't sound that bad. And then finally the low position is really low fidelity. It's an absolute brick wall bandpass audio filter from 300 to about 3000. Either end of that, it's gone. So it makes everybody sound like they're coming out a 3-inch speaker. But when the chips are down, the conditions are really, laden with garbage, and somebody is using a rice box on crappy audio, and you're struggling to hear them in a wide, high-fidelity bandpass, you can at least narrow it up. I call that method vacuum extraction. So there you go. So I can hear all that you have to offer there. The problem is most people do not have the ability to receive good wideband ESSB type sideband unless they're using an SDR. A lot of the NIP equipment out there, the low-end response for some reason or other, and all this stuff is poor. I use tuning around on the AM broadcast band, a lot of shortwave stations of garbage audio, so you don't know what you're getting. So I would not pattern my audio after one of them. KB2 UKA from WA1HLR.
Well, I've been EQing my receive while you were talking, and I made some changes, and I like what I'm hearing. Well, just a load of information. I'm going to find you on here again. I boosted the high end a little bit more. So my low end it's all a little bit, they're all cut a tiny bit below center. And then I boosted 2K up, and I started to roll off around 8K. But Tim, I have to unfortunately not unfortunately, my children are calling me. But even monitoring right now, I like what I'm hearing much better. It sounds a lot brighter to me. I don't know if it sounds any brighter to you since we started talking, but I like it. I'm going to listen back to it when we're done. And that's really it. So my friend Tim in Maine, Whiskey Alpha 1 HLR. This is KB2. Oh, hold on real quick. Somebody wants to say hello to you, Tim.
Hi.
That's my daughter Jillian, but I have headphones on, so she won't be able to hear you. But I'm going to sign now, Tim. So thank you so much, and I'll speak to you again soon. Take care.
Okay, and hello to Jillian. Well, just a word in passing and leaving. Lock it down. Make note of those settings. Don't touch them. And operate ESSB with a bandwidth of at least 4, maybe 5 kilohertz. Don't tell anybody anything and see if anybody notices the difference. But somebody with a good receiver for sideband should be suitably impressed. I like it. I'll see you later. Have a great evening, Doug. This is WA1HLR.
Take care, Tim. And Jillian says goodbye to you. And I'm on here usually in the evenings, early morning. I'll look for that big carrier and I'll come say hello. KB2 UKA Clear 73.
Yep, all the best. All the best.